What's going on, people? Mike C-Town here. Yeah, so Happy New Year. This is the first video I've done of 2021. Hopefully you guys are safe and well and all that good shit. I just did my video of the top 30 albums of 2020. Hopefully you guys have checked that out. If you have not, make sure you go give that a gander and then come back over here and watch this shit. But as I've been doing for the last few years, this is gonna be my top 10 movies of 2020. And it's funny because I didn't realize how many 2020 movies I watched in 2020. And because I'm old, I will forget a lot of stuff that I watch, even if it's something that I really liked. So I have to keep a running Word doc of the stuff that I watched throughout the year and that I really enjoyed. And even after that, I will still go and check my my Netflix watch history and just see if there's anything I missed. But I was really shocked by how many 2020 films I enjoyed this year. So yeah, I'm gonna give you guys those. I was trying to wait because I also do this with the Frames Per Second podcast that I do, but they were taking too long, so that will probably be out next week. But make sure you go and give that a listen because we're also going to be talking about not only top 10 movies, but our favorite TV shows and miniseries that came out in 2020, which was actually a more interesting task than the movies. So yeah, I always have to say this, even though I shouldn't have to, but people are people. And yeah, so this is my list. This is not your list. If you do not like my list, no one cares, but you're more than welcome to leave your list down there in the comments section, and I can go through it and other people can go through it and, you know, maybe catch up on some stuff that we may have missed. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, starting out at number 10, I'm gonna go with Where Does the Body End? And this is a fascinating documentary about one of my favorite bands, Swans, and it gives this incredible insight into what was going on in the 80s post-punk and noise and whatever scene. And it's just cool to watch how the band Swans progressed. You guys are probably thinking, well, if it's this great documentary and it's about one of your favorite bands, why is it so low on the list? Well, the reason it's so low is because for an almost 3-hour documentary, I feel like there was a lot more they could have shown and discussed and a lot of other fan type questions that they could have answered for us, and they just didn't. So while I thought it was still great, I feel like it missed the mark in certain areas. At number 9, I'm gonna go with May the Devil Take You 2. And this is an Indonesian film, and it's a sequel to the first one, May the Devil Take You. And it's like a Southeast Asian Evil Dead. Not as much of the kind of quirky comedy aspect, but it definitely has those weird quick shots and the ridiculous gore scenes that Evil Dead does. But this one is actually really creepy while also being a fun watch, but it's really well written, great story, the acting is awesome, and the kill scenes are just... At number 8, I'm going with Blood Quantum, and this is a movie that I haven't heard too many people talking about this year, but it made the festival run in 2019, but it wasn't made available to the public until 2020, and it's about a zombie outbreak happening, and we're following the effects that it has on an indigenous community. And outside of it being cool seeing a horror movie driven by indigenous people, it was a really compelling story and has some awesome kill scenes while still being dramatic and enthralling. So make sure you check that out. At number 7, I'm going with Da 5 Bloods. And this is the latest Spike Lee film, and it's one of the last films that Chadwick Boseman did. And it's about 4 friends who are also Vietnam vets who go back to Vietnam to get the remains of their friend and fallen soldier, as well as some treasure they left behind. It's a weird story, and Spike's filming style is odd here, but really cool. And while everyone's gonna be talking about, you know, how well Chadwick Boseman did for obvious reasons, I'm gonna say Delroy Lindo absolutely kills this. All right, at number 6, I'm going with Gretel and Hansel. This is the latest film from Oz Perkins, who also did Black Coat's Daughter, a film that I still think is extremely underrated. His style of dark and mysterious horror is just really interesting to me, and I feel like this was relatively ignored due to the subject matter and the title. People probably thought it was going to be silly or something, I don't know, but it really is a creepy retelling of the Hansel and Gretel fairy tale. I do wish it went a bit further, but I still really loved it. At number 5, I'm going with Horse Girl. And this is one of the most under talked about films of the year, one that I found to be fantastic. And it's not just because I'm semi in love with Alison Brie. That's not the issue, that's not the point. But this is about a kind of socially awkward girl who starts having these really strange occurrences start to happen in her life. So we're taking on this ride of trying to figure out if these things are actually happening or if it's all in her mind. And I can't say much more than that without giving things away, because there are a lot of twists and turns here, some reveals that I found to be worked into the story extremely well. So I don't want to ruin those for y'all, but it's a great story and Alison Brie acts her ass off, for real, for real. And yeah, I definitely want you guys to give this a shot if you have not already. But side note, please, for the love of everything good in the world, ignore these opportunistic weirdos that are making these bullshit claims that this movie is a ripoff of their film. Honestly, not to be a dick, but their film I thought was boring and terrible, and the comparisons are extremely weak. So even if this was a ripoff of their film, they took their film and they actually made it good. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Number 4, I'm going with Sound of Metal. This one snuck up on me and absolutely blew me away. It's basically about a drummer in a metal band who starts to lose his hearing. And this is something that really hits home for me because it's one of my greatest fears. As much as I am into music, losing my hearing, I don't know how I would deal with that. But seeing how the character in this movie deals with it, it's just really, really, really interesting and heartfelt. And the way the movie incorporates and represents the deaf community is fantastic. And Riz Ahmed, that motherfucker, I've been a fan of his since the night of, and he kills it in this. He really does. So check that out. All right, moving right along. Number 3, we have The Dark and the Wicked. So the slow burn thing is getting more and more popular, but it's hard to do that style of filmmaking right. And I feel like this one gets it right. It's about a family where the father is dying slowly and his wife and kids are there to kind of mourn him. And then a lot of really creepy shit starts to happen. And I feel like it's hard to make a film like this without it being boring, but they succeeded in legit creeping me out quite a few times in this movie. The director, Brian Bertino, was actually a producer on The Black Coat's Daughter. And that's not really important at all, but I'm still mentioning it because I thought it was really cool. But this movie is amazing, and if you are a horror fan, I definitely want you guys to give this a go. All right, and number 2, I'm Thinking of Ending Things. This is a film that's hard to describe without giving away anything, so I'll just say it's about a woman traveling with her boyfriend to his parents' house, and on the way, she's contemplating her relationship with him. But that's basically a surface story. Trust me, when you guys get into it, you'll see that it is infinitely deeper than that. It ends up being this absolutely beautiful and brilliant take on love, death, and regret. But I found it to be phenomenal. Weird, but phenomenal. And the number 1 movie for me for 2020 is gonna be The Lodge. I'm sure most of you guys who keep up with me know that already. This one seems to be a bit of a polarizing film, and I didn't realize that until recently, but it makes sense, you know? Apparently either you love this film or you absolutely hate this film, but obviously I love this film. It's basically about a woman who gets snowed in with her fiance's kids. So you're watching her interacting with them and trying to get acclimated with them and that life. And then really dark creepy and fucked up things start to happen. And it's another slow burn, atmospheric horror film, which is really my thing. But I think it's just brilliant. And I really felt uneasy watching the whole thing. They did such an amazing job creating this atmosphere around this movie and this aura that sucks you in and just makes you feel uncomfortable while you're watching it. And Riley Keough, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name properly, but she is amazing in this role. And even the kids do an amazing job. I usually can't stand child actors, but these little shits do a great job. And for me, it's a movie that sticks with you hardcore when you're done with it. So if you're a horror fan, or if you're a drama fan, or whatever kind of fan, if you're a film fan and you've not watched The Lodge, make sure you give that a go. Now, I don't usually do this, but I'm going to give a few honorable mentions that I think are worth checking out. I'm going to go through these really quickly, but Hunter x Hunter, an incredible slow burn film that didn't get talked about enough, and I definitely think you guys should give it a shot. The Invisible Man. I expected it to be kind of stupid, but it was actually fantastic. Underwater, same thing. Thought it was going to be stupid. It's actually excellent and genuinely claustrophobic and kind of scary. So yeah, it's really good. Becky was entertaining enough, so if you, I don't know, maybe not. Amulet, another slow burn that was really well done. Very fucked up. Man, Bad Boys for Life. No, I'm not fucking joking, man. That movie was great. I had a lot of fun during that movie, and at times I genuinely felt sad and pulled into the story. It's really, really good. Relic, a movie I had to watch a few times to actually really enjoy, but it was really, really well done. And my last honorable mention I'm going to throw at you guys, actually, no, I got a couple more. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Really, really well done. Very creative, very interesting film. The last one, Host. It's only about an hour long. It's about people that are on a Zoom call and scary shit happens. It sounds like it's going to be stupid, but it's actually really well done. I was shocked. But yeah, I'm gonna stop there, guys. Don't bother filling the comment section with, oh, Possessor, oh man, you gotta check out Possessor. Look, I watched Possessor, all right? I didn't really care for it. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't my thing. I actually, not to be a dick or anything, of course, but I just found it to be a little bit boring. I do plan on returning to it, but I don't know what to tell you. I didn't love it. So, yeah, if there's anything that you think I missed, definitely drop it down there in the comments section, and include your full list as well, man. Those are fun to take a peek through. And like I said, make sure you go check out the FPS Frames Per Second podcast. But yeah, that's it. As usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you, and I'll see you guys next time. All right? Peace out.